Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shashank Ranjan, and I welcome you all to the daily news discussion brought to you by National Defense Institute. NDI is a leading defense preparation institute of India that prepares you for all India Sainik School entrance examination, NDA, CDS, CAPF, Afcat, till the SSB, where we believe in holding your hand till you get those stars on your shoulders and emblem on your head. Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin the news discussion. Today's newspaper is basically full of the budget that was presented yesterday, and we'll bring a separate session on budget tomorrow, where we will discuss the most important things that's mentioned in the budget from our exams perspective. That would be important. All right, so today we will quickly look into the newspaper and look at what are the things that are important from today's news perspective. Although it is filled with everything that's in budget, we'll have a separate session on it. The video will be coming tomorrow. Let's quickly see what are the important things here in the newspaper today. So the first thing is about the medium wave. So the finance minister bets on the public capital spending to boost the job creation, but offers little for the social sector. Okay, so capital spending will be done that would boost the job creation, but there was a very little offer for the social sector, right? So if you see here, the in this image, it's mentioned that the financial inclusion in 2022, all post offices will come in the banking system, enabling financial inclusion and access to account, and also provide online transfer of funds between the post office accounts and the bank accounts. Next is infrastructure. 400 new generation Vande Bharat trains with better energy efficiency and passenger riding experience will be developed and manufactured during the next 3 years. Digital rupee using blockchain and other technology will be issued by Reserve Bank of India starting 2022-23. It will lead to more efficient and cheaper currency management system. Next is CAPEX, that is capital expenditure. The capital expenditure is being stepped up sharply by 35.4% from 5.54 lakh crore in the current year to 7.5 lakh crore in 2022-23. This is more than 2.2 times the expenditure of 2019-20. All right, so that's important. Moreover, the was given here in this article, which is important, is the uh, yeah, so the finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman, in this budget, she called it as the Amrit Kal, that is the 75th year of independence, and for the over 25 years culminating in the vision for India 2047, as initiated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the Independence Day address last year, she said. All right, and so that's thing that she mentioned. And then before she began the speech, she mentioned about those who lost their life and financial losses during the COVID-19 pandemic. But then she mentioned a verse from Mahabharata where it is mentioned that the collecting of taxes is important, and the then the taxation was announced, and there was basically no direct relief in form of tax break was given to counter the inflation and the COVID impact on the incomes and jobs. All right, so on the salaried and the middle class, there was basically no relief for the tax that was given. All right, because obviously government wants more revenue, and this is the time when actually there has to be liquidity, and economic growth has to take place, and government requires a lot of money to provide a kind of impetus in the economy so that the infrastructure development could take place. Thereby, with the help of the infrastructure development, more jobs could be created and the economy can be brought to the path, right? So that's important. But there in the budget there were few omissions that are mentioned. That is, for example, there was no talk on the government's existing program to build smart cities, nothing about that. So till 2047, nothing about this smart city was there in the budget. And then there was no mention of the China border directly, the conflict that Indo-China border is facing right now. But there was without mentioning the name China, it said that the budget promised a convergence of existing border area development programs to provide better physical and digital connectivity in the northern borders. All right. So that's the thing. Then 50-year loan for the state. Now 50-year loan for the state was given. This is a very very good move where she announced that 1 lakh crore uh, 50 years interest-free loan to the states will be given to pursue critical capital spending project aligned with PM Gati Shakti program, digitization or the urban reforms. All right, so this is something really great. These were some important things here in this article. Now let's move to the next article. All right. So the next news article, which is important, is Finance Minister boots tax on virtual assets. Okay. So the virtual assets like the cryptocurrencies and the non-fungible tokens. If suppose someone has invested in the cryptocurrency and bought some cryptocurrencies and non-fungible tokens, then if they want to debit the amount and bring it back in their bank account, then they'll have to pay 30% of the tax on the income that they receive. So this is a very heavy taxation on those who have invested on the cryptocurrency. And obviously, we had seen this that the government of India had been speaking with various, foreign powers, and they were discussing that the cryptocurrency and those kind of digital currencies which are non-regulated is actually detrimental for the health of economy of any country, because a lot of money laundering and terror financing could take place because of this. And therefore government has come up with this idea that 30% of taxation will be done if somebody has done investment in cryptocurrency and they're getting the money. So 30% will be there. Basically government wants to demote it, okay, and not to promote it. Okay, so that's important in this article. Let's move to the next important article. So the next news article is also on the same page number. It's 5G services to roll out in financial year 2023. Sitaraman said that the 5G services will start rolling out in the year uh, 2023. Some will also, required spectrum auction will be conducted in 2022 to facilitate the rollout of 5G mobile services within 2022-23 by private telecom providers. So this is something a good news that's coming up. And the second most important news here is BSNL to get 44,720 crore. This is a huge, heavy amount for BSNL. So basically, government wants to revamp the whole infrastructure of BSNL, which is a government company, and it wants BSNL to, perform better in its 4G services. And later, when the 5G comes, then BSNL is easily able to adopt to the technology and brush its shoulders with the private counterparts. All right, so that's the logic behind this. Right, so that's here in this news. Let's move to the next news article. Next important article is here on page number 2. So in this viewpoint, this is very important for CAPF AC's perspective. So you can get a lot of point about from various economists and the economic analysts, where there's a viewpoint that basically a lot of things has taken place this time. So uh, it basically talks that although there's no tax cut for the financial for the people, but this comes as a disappointment that as many were expecting relief in the tax slabs, but there was basically a kind of a disappointment. But some benefits by way of COVID relief is, however, provided both in respect of treatment cost as well as with respect to some paid to the family for those who have passed away during the pandemic. All right, so some tax release and all are given in the other way. Okay, so this will now be possible up to 2 years from the end of assessment year. So basically, it's like there's an important change that will enable the taxpayers to update their return beyond the short existing time limit for filing the belated returns. This will now be possible up to 2 years. Okay, so earlier the uh, the time to file the taxes was less, but now if somebody has missed the to file the taxes, they can file it up to 2 years. So this is something good. Now the taxpayer has to pay an additional tax of 25 to 50% on additional income declared in the updated return. Okay, so if somebody declares an additional income in the updated return, then there would be extra deduction of 25 and 50%. So it is important that everyone should declare their taxes honestly. All right. So similarly, there are various other things given here. So just go through, read this article. This is good. It will give you some points for the essay point of view. All right. Now let's move to the next article that's important for today. Let's move to the next page number 3. Okay, so here there's no very important news. Let's move to page number 4. You see, all these are filled with only with budget, right? And fine. So the next important news that we have is here on this page number 4, where it's given that the defense outlay witnesses marginal increase. So finance minister announces steps to boost the domestic manufacturing and reduce the imports. So this is important, that Make in India scheme, especially in the defense sector, revamping our defense technology is very important. So there's a special attention that's been given. So that's mentioned here. Next is the textile sector got an allocation increase of 8.1%. So this basically has been given. It is because, see, a small country like Bangladesh exports more textile than India, whereas the quality of textile could be better from here in India, especially in the states like Tamil Nadu, where the very skilled labor for the cotton industry are present. Uh, India should use this potential and export the textile, and therefore, it is very important that some uh, special attention has to be given to the textile sector, and in this direction, the government has taken a right step. Next is the battery swapping policy on annual. Now, this is very important because especially now when the electric vehicles and all are being promoted, then at that point of time, the if suppose the battery is gone, then the swapping of the battery or changing the battery that's there in the car, their stations should be installed at different places, so that the battery could be removed and quickly be placed like that. And therefore, for battery swapping, again the special uh, attention is given here. Given next, we have is the emergency credit line for MSME extended till March 2023. So basically, budget provides an additional credit of more than 130 lakh units. Okay, to 130 lakh units, additional credit is given, and emergency credit line for MSME has been extended till March 2023. So they can take money, and this will help them to come out of the adverse impact that the pandemic had left on these MSME sector. And we know that this MSME sector is very important, because most export that goes out of India is from this MSME sector. So although these are very small industries, but then they are the nucleus of our economic development. All right. Let's move to the next article. That is budget gives Ministry of External Affairs funds for Taliban rule Afghanistan. So basically, government has given a separate money to Ministry of External Affairs that you help the people in Afghanistan. So additional money has been given, and it also dedicates 600 crores for Myanmar, 200 crore to spend on Afghanistan. The highest amount is given to Bhutan, and the biggest allocation is 2,266.24 crore for Bhutan. Okay, so this is the largest. There are some other countries, like for example, Nepal ministry gets 300 crores and 50 respectively for Bangladesh and Nepal also. So these countries will get the allocations. The second highest recipient of the allocations is Mauritius, that will be given 900 crore rupees. A good lot of money is government is going to give to other countries in form of assistance. All right, let's move to the next news article that's important. So the next news article that's important is on page number 5. The This news: government has not lost sight of inflation. So the finance minister has said that government has not lost its sight. Basically, it is focused on reducing the inflation that's going on the country. No increase in taxes in itself is a relief. This is what the minister says. So we know that there is inflation and we are putting in. Uh, we are putting eyes to it, but we have not increased any taxes, and itself is a kind of a relief. So you must remember that reducing taxes every time is not the real solution, but if the taxes are not being increased, even that's something good. All right, so this is what is given here in this article. Next is the green bond target the carbon neutrality. So basically there the infrastructure projects that are going to come up, for that the green energy is required, and the green energy, green development, all for all of them, the green bonds will be issued. Now green bonds will be kind of a bond issued by the government where people can invest in the green bond. These bond, the money that will be obtained from the green bond would be used for the green infrastructure projects. All right, so this will basically help India to achieve a net zero emission by 2030 and 2070. All right, so this is what is given in this news. That's important. The next news article that's important is the digital rupee to arrive in new fiscal to use the blockchain technology. So the digital rupee that's going to be used in the new fiscal year will use blockchain technology, and it will lead to the cheaper currency management system. So I hope you know what is this blockchain technology. So blockchain technology basically uses the AI system, and it is a very secured way of transition. Uh, okay, and this year it has been announced in the budget that the transactions will be done through blockchain. The systematic records will be kept, no hacking. It's very safe and secure way, right? So this is something good. The next article that we have here is the e-passport to be rolled out soon. So government has already sealed a deal with TCS for the passport seva program version 2.0, where issuance of the e-passport using the embedded chip and futuristic technology will roll out in 2022-23 to enhance the convenience of citizens in their overseas travel. So if this is something good. Let's move to the next page number and see the important article. Next important article is on page number 6, and this article is push for promotion of drones through startups. So a special purpose vehicle for Air India's debt gets 9,259 crore allocation slash the Civil Aviation Ministry. And basically the drones, which is like drone Shakti, uh, the is basically to promote these startups that could facilitate the drone facilities for delivery of the various product, delivery of services, and basically could be used in the industries for various purposes. So basically to promote the drones, the special attention has been given, and there has been a push in promotion, right? So that's important. Next is the next important news here is the expert welcomes the boost on the mental health sector. So government has given a special focus on the mental health, where 23 tele mental health centers would be launched with National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences in Bangalore as the nodal center. So nodal center will be the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, and the IIT Bangalore will provide the technical support to the mental health program. All right, but this is disappointing budget. Why? Because basically the although there has been a special attention given to the mental health, but then the budgetary allocation is very less. So that's given here. Fine. Let's check what's there in the next page number. Fine. Let's come to page number 7, and here on page number 7, we have this news which is important, where the natural farming finds fertile ground. So basically, in this whole budget, the natural farming has been given a special focus. A recent spotlight on zero budget natural farming found an echo in the finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman's budget speech on Tuesday, with Bank of Ganga identified as the next focal point to promote the agriculture uh, practices that will eschew the chemical fertilizers. All right, so this is important. The next important news that we have is the agriculture technology drones startup fund in focus. All right, so basically, again, the drone technologies are going to be given a kind of focus where the public-private partnership, and through the public-private partnership, the the drones could be used for spraying of the insecticides and pesticides. Okay, so finance minister promised to promote the use of drones for spraying insecticides and pesticides on the field. So this is again second thing that's important. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, these were some very important news articles in the Hindu today, uh, and will come up with a separate budget video where we'll have a quick glance on the whole budget and most important points we'll take that's important from us exam perspective. So most probably the video will come tomorrow. Stay tuned and keep studying hard. Let's meet in the next discussion video. Fine. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.